Hey babies, this is your girl Sleepy Baby. I was gonna cheat and use AI, but here I am. You are now tuning into the first installment of my personal favorite moments in the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. In this episode, I'll be diving into Kandi and Kim's tour back in Season 3. That season aired from October 2010 to February 2011. Season 3 introduced us to the witty attorney Miss Phaedra Parks and fashion model Cynthia Bailey. This was when Phaedra was being ushered in as a first-time wife and mother, while Cynthia also took her relationship with her then-partner Peter to another level. We also had the return of OGs like Miss Nene Leakes, who always walked into the room and owned it. Miss Cherie, with her bad self, got into acting and started dating again. Alongside, we have Miss Kim Zolciak being flashy, fly, and carefree as she wants to be while embarking upon a budding pop career. And last but not least, Season 3 graced us with the return of Kandi Burruss being celibate and birthing what we all know today as Bedroom Kandi. Here's the backstory. In Season 2, Kandi and Kim made a song together called Don't Be Tardy for the Party. The ladies performed the single, and the song actually did okay on iTunes. The ladies even performed the song at a festival where they killed it. Seemingly, Kim and Kandi's relationship became ruffled by the end of Season 2 of RHOA. This is because Kim didn't pay Kandi for her contribution to the song. I mean, Kandi basically wrote the whole song for her. Plus, Nene held a grudge towards Kim for not being featured on the song because it was originally supposed to be a duet between her and Kim. Plus, she thought it would have been bigger if she was on the track. However, in Season 3, despite the Don't Be Tardy situation, Kandi writes another hit for Kim. Y'all might remember it. It's called The Ring Didn't Mean a Thing. Kim went on to Andy Cohen's show and he said that the ring Big Papa gave her didn't mean a thing, and there you have it. The ring didn't mean a thing. Anywho, Kandi was getting into making new music for an upcoming album during that time. She wanted to get back out there and start performing for her fans again and took Kim with her out on the road for a 3-city tour. The ladies had to meet up at Palm Springs to fly to Charlotte to travel on the tour bus. Kim pulls up with her assistant, Sweetie, fashionably on time with a limo full of luggage. Kandi and her team felt like Kim was doing too much because they were traveling on an actual tour bus. Like, Kim, you are going on tour. But I digress. Kim was actually surprised that they're traveling on a tour bus. When Don Juan started running down the rules, Kim and Sweetie came off with an attitude. They wanted to smoke on the tour bus, but Don Juan said, "Oh no." However, Kim made a side deal with the bus driver that she's cool with him drinking if he allows her to smoke. Then Kim started complaining about the size of the bunks on the tour bus, while continuously yelling at Sweetie. "Y'all, let me give a moment to my girl Sweetie because she's better than me. I wouldn't have made it through 24 hours as Kim's assistant. Jeez." But moving forward, the gang ends up stopping at a local bar in Charlotte to unwind. At some point during their pit stop, Don Juan tried to be petty and checked Kim on her song The Ring Don't Mean a Thing. Don Juan expressed how he felt that the song is risky because the song is about Big Papa, who was Kim's married boyfriend at the time. Kim was like, "I don't know what the big deal is." Kandi chimes in saying, "She didn't even mention the subject being Big Papa and the subject being married." Somehow, the conversation flows to them discussing a monkey in a wig, passively mocking Kim. I'll say this, looking back as an adult, that comment was a bit of a reach towards Kim. I mean, a monkey in a wig? Man, if the tables were turned, there would have been a riot, a war, and a tornado. Nevertheless, the conversation reaches a dead end and Kim goes back on the bus, leaving Kandi and Don at the bar. The ladies stopped by Club Tempo for their performance. Before showtime, they met up with Mama Joyce and the OLGs. Kandi took them on a tour of the tour bus. Meanwhile, on Kim's end, her then-boyfriend RHOA sent her a beautiful bouquet of roses. Derek J came through to do Kim and Kandi's hair. Look at him. Always stepping. And I'm not mad at it. Before the performance, Kim rehearsed one more time with the assistance of her pregame kit. Kandi was looking like, "Girl, what the heck?" She was like, "It's not good at all to drink and smoke before performing vocals." Moving forward, it was time for Kim's performance. And Kim ended up doing well. She shocked me. When I initially watched this as a teen and back again as an adult, I knew Kim was going to mess up at some point, but she proved me wrong. Twice. Afterwards, Kandi comes up on stage and kills it. She left her heart on the floor. I know this is off topic, but I like Kandi's singing voice. Like it's on, but off at the same time. Plus, she can hit that little high note. The show in Charlotte was a success and the people loved it. Next stop, Orlando, Florida. So, en route to Orlando, Kim decides to sleep on the sofa instead of a bunk. The next morning, Kim wanted a smoke and she got the bus to pull over. This caused Kandi to do her infamous eye roll. Afterwards, Kim invites Nene over a phone call to pull up in Orlando to see them perform and come on the bus to ride to Miami. This caused Kandi to do another infamous eye roll. En route, they make a pit stop at a rib spot. Kandi, Dawn, and them take this as an opportunity to eat, while Kim and Sweetie took it as an opportunity to chill and have a smoke break. At some point, Kandi comes out with Dawn. Kandi mentions to Sweetie and Kim that they look like they're tailgating, which they did with their setup. Then Dawn said Kim looked like a slave master. No comment, y'all. I'll leave that to y'all. Later that night, the ladies did their set. Nene pulled up to show her support. She was obviously still bitter from not being featured on Don't Be Tardy from her minute critique of Kim's performance, and her slightly going in on Kandi's singing voice. Nevertheless, Nene hitches a ride on the tour bus with Kandi and Kim to Miami. The ladies head to Miami to meet up with Phaedra, who finally got out of the house postpartum, Cynthia, who they were supposed to be celebrating for becoming engaged to Peta, and Cherie, who was just catching the Miami wave. I'm not mad at it. On the way to Miami, Nene checked Kim on how she was talking to Sweetie. They kept referring to Sweetie as Kim's slave because of their dynamic and how Kim orders her around. However, Sweetie didn't mind because, like she said, slaves don't get paid. To each its own, too. And I stress, to each its own. Nene and Kim continue to go back and forth until they reach their destination to Kim's friend's house, where they were meeting Phaedra, Cherie, and Cynthia. When Nene got off the bus, the first thing she did was trot over to the ladies going off about Kim and how she talks to Sweetie. Kim and Nene come into Kim's friend's home arguing about the bus drama. The friend nipped it in the bud and told them not to do that in his house. This guy, a real estate mogul, was nice enough to lend one of his homes to Kim and the girls. Nevertheless, things go up when Cherie invites Lawrence. Nene rolled her eyes and invited her good friend Diane, who Kim doesn't care for. Nene did this because she felt as if she didn't have a real friend on the trip. At the end, Cherie, Cynthia, and Phaedra supported Kim and Kandi's finale show as they danced on the front row. Nene watched Kim's set from behind a gate but ended up joining the other women for Kandi's performance. In conclusion, Kim annoyed the heck out of Kandi during this tour with the cigarettes and liquor, which Kandi didn't partake in. Plus, Kandi felt as if Kim was feeling herself too much after one song, Don't Be Tardy for the Party, which Kim also performed at the Season 2 reunion. Then it was the song Kandi made and wasn't compensated for at the time, which made her roll her eyes harder. Kandi annoyed the heck out of Kim and Sweetie with her and Dawn's side shade. The Miami stop was originally supposed to be a bachelorette party for Cynthia, but it just ended up being centered around Kim and Nene's drama. However, Miss Kandi made up for it in Season 13 of RHOA with the best bachelorette party I've never been to. As of today, Kim ended up having to pay Kandi for her contributions to Don't Be Tardy due to a legal settlement. Nene still wasn't on the song, and I don't know where her and Kim's relationship stands as of today. However, I don't think she's too fond of Miss Kandi Burruss Tucker these days because of some of the shade thrown in recent clips. As for Kandi and Kim, they are cordial. Despite the odds, the ladies had a successful 3-city tour ending on a good note. And that's the end of episode 1 of Sleepy Baby's top 10 favorite moments on the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe for your variety jar of entertainment.